Social inclusion and protection ensures that the dignity of each individual is of primary importance in the decisions taken for the governance of the country. In this edition of Jamaica Magazine, we review how the government is accomplishing this through the regularization of land ownership. Hello there, I'm your host, Theodore Henry. We have a lot of information to send your way today, so please stay tuned as the news is next.
Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, September 30. The United Kingdom will be providing £360 million in development assistance to the Caribbean, including Jamaica. British Prime Minister David Cameron made the announcement on Tuesday following bilateral discussions with Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller and other government officials. Andrea Chisholm has more.
Prime Minister Cameron says £30 million of the amount was to attract investments to the region, and another £30 million would help Caribbean hospitals become more resilient to natural disasters. The bulk, £300 million, represents cash grants to fund infrastructure projects across the region.
This money could help to unleash trade across the region with new roads, new bridges, new port infrastructure to help speed up freight movements. And I believe it will help benefit British businesses who have the knowledge and expertise to deliver infrastructure improvements.
In a subsequent address to both Houses of Parliament Wednesday morning, he said these new financial commitments represented a down payment on Britain's commitment to Jamaica and the rest of the region. He further asserted that the UK should remain the partner of choice for the Commonwealth Caribbean.
Why? Well, above all, because of our shared values. Democracy, the idea that power flows from the people. The rule of law, the idea that we all have a right to be heard. And human rights. You believe in these things. We believe in these things. Not everyone who beats a path to your door takes the same view.
For JIS News, I'm Andrea Chisholm.
Meanwhile, the governments of Jamaica and the United Kingdom have signed a non-binding memorandum of understanding for the construction of a maximum security prison in Jamaica. A release from the National Security Ministry said the new facility would accommodate between 1,500 and 2,000 inmates. The UK will provide £25 million in grant funding to help build the prison and a further £5.5 million towards the reintegration of inmates. Provision will also be made for up to 300 Jamaicans serving prison sentences in the UK to complete their sentences in the new facility. This is subject to the Jamaican Parliament passing legislation approving the prison transfer agreement, and every request would be subject to an administrative and judicial review process in Jamaica. Prime Minister Cameron underscored the importance of the new prison facility.
Improving the ability of the Jamaican criminal justice system to deal with crime, and also enabling the United Kingdom to return criminals to serve their sentence. This, I believe, is in the interests of both of us and is a good example of how we can work together to benefit people here in Jamaica and in Britain too.
And the hot-button issue of reparations also came up for discussions during the British Prime Minister's visit to the island. Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller addressed the issue during Tuesday's bilateral discussions,
indicating that Jamaica is involved in a process under the auspices of the Caribbean community to engage the UK on the matter. While we are aware of the obvious sensitivities involved.
And in an interview with reporters Wednesday morning, Mr. Cameron said while reparations was an important debate, he did not believe it was the right answer.
Of course, this is an important debate. I mean, my view is that as we look into the past, we should think of all of the aspects of the past, not least the action that Britain took for many decades to wipe slavery off the high seas and off the face of our planet. And so I don't think reparations are the right answer.
Mr. Cameron was addressing journalists after a wreath-laying for World Wars I and II veterans held at the National Heroes Park Wednesday morning. His two-day visit to Jamaica began with a warm welcome at the Norman Manley International Airport Tuesday afternoon. He left the island late Wednesday morning. A few hours after Mr. Cameron's departure, Prime Minister of Japan, His Excellency Shinzo Abe, arrived in Jamaica for an official visit. He was met at the Norman Manley International Airport by Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller and other members of her cabinet. Mr. Abe also had bilateral discussions with the Prime Minister and other senior government officials. The Japanese Prime Minister also had a scheduled visit to the Bob Marley Museum and a reception hosted by the Prime Minister. He leaves the island on Thursday. Meanwhile, Her Royal Highness the Princess Royal Princess Anne also arrived in Jamaica on Wednesday. While here, she will participate in the Caribbean-Canada Emerging Leaders Dialogue (CCELD), which provides an avenue for emerging leaders to develop their skill set. Her Royal Highness will also visit Up Park Camp and other locations in Kingston and St. Andrew. She's expected to leave Jamaica on Friday. And finally, school administrators are being urged to make an immediate report to the parish medical officers of health or the health department if they suspect cases of hand, foot and mouth disease in their school. The urging comes from Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson as the ministry recorded an outbreak of the illness in 35 schools up to Wednesday morning. Cases have been reported in the parishes of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas, St. Catherine, Portland and St. Anne. Dr. Ferguson is appealing to parents to remove infected children from school until they have fully recovered to prevent further transmission. He's also recommended that schools regularly clean and disinfect their facilities, particularly areas where young children frequent. In the meantime, the Health Ministry has provided schools with guidelines on managing hand, foot and mouth disease. Information is also available on the ministry's website at moh.gov.jm. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.
Spotting gangs in school is critical in dealing with cases of indiscipline.
One of the main things that we're taught is looking for symbols. Symbols of some gangs in some communities. We're saying if you see students carrying some of these features, symbols, tattoos is one of them. Almost like a trademark. So they all of them will be a particular tattoo on a particular hand. Those are things to look for.
Remember, groups and cliques are not the same as gangs who carry out criminal activities. To report suspected cases of gang activity at your school, contact the Ministry of Education at 922-140029.
Hey, Jude, man, badness no pay.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Can you guess what I am? I am the poor man's joy and comfort, the rich man's prize, the right hand of capital, the silent partner of many thousands of successful men and women. I am the solace of the widow, the comfort of old age, the cornerstone of security against misfortune and want. I am handed down to children through generations as a thing of great wealth. What am I? Land. In the community of Clifton, we see how ownership of this timeless resource is empowering the residents and facilitating the development of a more inclusive community.
Really excited. You wouldn't know all of me. I wait for this. Me pray and me fast lose weight for this. All of who make it possible, me thank you for this. You see, when the concert done, we are going to celebrate this.
Renee Lester's excitement matches her Clifton St. Andrew neighbors' reaction to finally getting letters of possession for their properties. The residents of the former sugar workers' barracks have for years craved former land ownership, and now they have it, thanks to government's commitment to the social inclusion of all Jamaicans.
We are empowering our people as registered landowners, owners of assets with which they can improve their lives.
We have moved on a program to regularize Clifton. In doing so, we engage surveyors and planners, urban planners, who we have contracted to do what we call a as-built development. In other words, because the area have substantial housing structure. We have to plan over those and around those structures.
Approximately 300 residents of the St. Catherine community are now proud landowners. Another 200 should get their titles by year end. But it doesn't stop there for Clifton. Like other communities benefiting from government's community regularization and development program, Clifton is being transformed from a squatter settlement to one with major infrastructure. Under the program run by the Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings, the old estate houses for sugar workers will be upgraded. Amenities including a proper sewage treatment plant and early childhood institution with an aftercare facility are also being built.
We want that despite your origin, despite your background, you are to be living somewhere which is safe and comfortable. The plan will see increase in road and access. It will see access to utilities, light, water, and we now know the importance of internet services to lives in community.
While the residents will obtain the land free of cost, they are being asked to pay for the necessary infrastructure.
Through the various projects being implemented through the Sugar Transformation Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, we are able to invest not only in the physical infrastructure of designated communities, but also in the lives of the people who reside in those communities.
Is that it's not just about housing. It's about building a sustainable economy. So we want the commercial activity to be there. We want the training activity to be there. We want to build a holistic community.
My father, my grandmother, my uncle, my cousins have worked all their lives in this sugar industry and lived right around here in this community. During most of the years, they never dreamt that they would own the land they lived and worked on.
Clifton St. Catherine is not the only community being transformed under the Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings Community Regularization Program. It's also being carried out in Clarendon, Westmoreland, Trelawney, and St. Thomas. The program is targeting 30,000 persons living in more than 80 sugar-dependent communities. The Sugar Company of Jamaica Holdings, building communities like Clifton and transforming people's lives through land ownership. The government of Jamaica, putting land ownership in the hands of the disadvantaged.
Hello everyone, you're watching Issues and Answers with Ian Boyne, the program where you get all your information about current affairs and government programs and policies.
In our next feature, we learn how a man chooses to address the issues that affected his community by using one asset and the desire to make a difference.
All this from just 3 peas.
While we're coming, I saw 2 grain of peas on the road and I picked it up. I take it home with me and I planted it beside my callaloo garden at the home.
This was in 1982 and the 3rd pea was found just a few days later at the same spot.
I saw a sucker. I just take my machete, take it up like that and I hold it like that and go to the field. And I planted it there. And that's how I started. From then, I keep planting and keep planting, and I buy a cow out of it. I raise chickens out of it, and I feel delighted to keep on doing it. As the message is that we might not have the wing way of life to fly up, but with small grains and have the courage to do it, we can reach somewhere.
Words of wisdom from Zephaniah Gibson, affectionately called Reuben, which somehow evolved into Benjamin.
This West Rural St. Andrew farmer is proof positive that big things can come from small starts. It's a message he's eager to share, using his success as an example, from 3 peas planted in 1982 to close to 1 acre being sown and reaped today. It's a journey that has been documented in a manuscript titled Benjamin's Adventure.
And it born out of a desire to help those who are lazy. You don't want to do anything. And you say, this little morsel or this little, it's too green, it's too small to start with. But Benjamin started with it. And it never hard, it wasn't hard to do it for me because I love farming. And here is it today. Rain in abundance.
Mr. Gibson, or Benjamin, is a farmer at heart, working the soil every chance he gets.
I would not live nowhere if I don't have even a square like this to plant something. I don't want it to live. No. Planting is my nature and I enjoy. And every day, you know what is big thing? 365 days make a year. And last year I've never bought 1 grain of peas, heating my rice and peas.
And this passion has him planting just about anything.
If you want me to cut it, make it very pretty. And it's 10 pumpkin come under 1 tree. So I picked up 3 already. This is the 4th one, and I have 6 more. This is a blue and white Sylvans. This yam heat very delicious.
Mr. Gibson embodies the Ministry of Agriculture's Grow What We Eat What We Grow campaign. From his humble farm, he has been able to feed his family and provide for them from the sale of his produce.
I use the farm as a source of backup along with my trade. I am a skilled stone mason. I do painting otherwise and masonry. Looking back, if I had to do it over again, I would still do it because I thank God He gave me strength to do it and the courage to do it. I'm a happy farmer. I'm a happy Benjamin.
At home in Salisbury Plain District, St. Andrew, his wife gives him the support he needs.
We prayed and asked God to bless whatever He put in the earth. And I know that the Lord did what we have asked Him for. Little is much when God is in it. I didn't plan to marry a farmer, but I have no regrets. He's very hardworking and willing to do. When he reap the crop, I sit down and I shell out the peas them, and then we put it to sun, and sometimes we sell it to neighbors and sometimes far out. And he saves his money, and that helps support us very well, and I thank God for that. We live as a loving people, helpful to each other, anything we share among ourselves.
Things are good now, but Zephaniah Gibson has had moments of hardship, like losing a whole field of young plants to heavy rainfall. But he got up and got to planting again.
Although I am not down on my face, I am not going to lie there. I am going to stand tall and fight on. I said, courage, brother, do not falter. I still decided not to stop because food is a must. Food must come from somewhere and it must be planted. You can join the ranks too. Stop digging out your hand, Miguel. Join the ranks. Stop wasting time. Farm the land to feed your family.
When Jamaica received universal adult suffrage in 1944, it represented significant progress in the move towards self-government. In a speech to the House of Representatives in 1952, Norman Manley noted that universal adult suffrage was in itself a social revolution. Prior to universal adult suffrage, the right to vote was determined by the amount of wealth or property a man held, and women were completely excluded from this process. This new system extended voting rights to adults, irrespective of their race, sex, or social class. This process is the cornerstone of Jamaica's democracy, as it gives the voter an impact on public policy and government. It provides an avenue for citizens to be active as they advocate for their families and communities, connect with neighbors, and participate in community activities. It provides citizens with an opportunity to express their opinions, and it's a form of personal empowerment where they can speak to issues that matter to them, their families, and communities. Issues that always matter to Jamaica.
Guns are a significant problem in Jamaica, and that is why we have to move to do something about it. It is in this context that I am now launching a special initiative of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Get the Guns campaign. You, the public, can keep illegal guns out of your communities by using all means to inform the police as to how illegal guns are stored and moved within the communities.
Download and use the Stay Alert app from the Google Play Store. Call 119-311-811 or the nearest police station.
Jamaica's National Development Plan, Vision 2030, is working towards an inclusive society where Jamaica will become the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. In goal number 2 of the plan, we look at how security, safety, and effective governance will make this a reality.
Well, it's all about Jamaica and our vision to gain first world status.
Jamaica, the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. It's the vision statement for Vision 2030 Jamaica. It means that by the year 2030, Jamaica should reach developed country status by implementing the country's first long-term national development plan. The vision is to be realized through 4 main goals. Jamaicans are empowered to achieve their fullest potential. The Jamaican society is secure, cohesive, and just. Jamaica's economy is prosperous, and Jamaica has a healthy natural environment. Goal number 2 of Vision 2030 Jamaica, the Jamaican society is secure, cohesive, and just, underscores the importance of a country with high levels of accountability and transparency in government, while offering justice and fair play for its people in a society that is safe. Goal achievement is therefore focused on 2 main areas: security and safety, and effective governance. Citizens of Jamaica, business interests, visitors, and residents in all communities should feel secure, whether at home, work, school, or as they go about their daily lives. To achieve this, the security forces have been working to reduce major crimes. A major organized crime and anti-corruption task force was developed to deal with organized criminal networks and their facilitators. Through the Proceeds of Crime Act, the security forces have also been able to seize the ill-gotten gains of some of these criminals. The legislative and technical frameworks in which the security forces operate are also being strengthened, all in a bid to thoroughly investigate crime and bring perpetrators to book. The medium-term socio-economic framework of Vision 2030 Jamaica stipulates that social intervention programs form part of the strategy to achieve a safer Jamaica. The Citizen Security and Justice Program has been expanded to 50 volatile communities across 8 parishes, and the Community Renewal Program has been created to carry out integrated social and economic development in the 100 most vulnerable and volatile communities over the next 10 years.
What it means is that you get the local citizens in the organizations, the local departments, ministries, and agencies focused on some strategic things and bringing together existing resources. Children staying in school and completing school has been demonstrated as one of the most effective crime prevention activities.
To this end, the police have expanded the Safe Schools program while increasing the number of police resource officers in schools. On a much broader level, efforts have also been made to improve the security of our borders and territorial waters, while steps are being taken to rehabilitate persons who have been incarcerated.
We also look at the important area of governance. How important it is for each and every Jamaican to have a voice in how this country is governed.
Governance describes the way power and authority are shared, how public decisions are taken, and how institutions work for the benefit of all. Goal number 2 focuses on several key areas that are important for achieving effective governance, promoting transparency and accountability in government. This includes Parliament and the ministries, departments, and agencies. Through a number of committees like the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, public institutions have to give an account of their expenditure and other critical aspects of their operations. The private sector, civil society, and ordinary citizens are being encouraged to voice their concerns and work towards effective solutions for the country's problems. Local government and constitutional reform are also important under goal number 2 of Vision 2030 Jamaica. Progress continues on strengthening the role of local government so that parish councils will be better able to serve the local community. The reform of the justice system is also being undertaken to better protect the rights of citizens and ensure efficient and fair delivery of justice. Courthouses have been refurbished. The number of judges at various levels of the system has increased. The commercial court has been strengthened. Outdated laws are being reviewed, and new legislation is being created as the need arises. The list of duty councils has also been expanded to ensure that all Jamaicans have access to legal representation if they come in conflict with the law. With the opening of a number of restorative justice centers and strengthening the role of the justices of the peace, citizens are able to work out their problems without the intervention of the formal court system. Vision 2030 Jamaica, through Goal 2, is seeking to ensure that by 2030 we will all live in safe communities, have modern and effective ways of maintaining law and order, empower families to solve conflicts in positive ways, and that our governance structure is sound and persons have access to a fair and efficient justice system. You can get more information on the National Development Plan by calling the Planning Institute of Jamaica or the Jamaica Information Service. Information can also be accessed at vision2030.gov.jm or the Vision 2030 Jamaica Facebook page. Together, we can make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Vision 2030 Jamaica plan. Oh, now I understand.
Remember, the JIS is always putting out up-to-date information, so check us out on our website at www.jis.gov.jm or on our YouTube channel, or just download the JIS News app from the Google Play Store. Keep sending your feedback to our Facebook and Twitter pages. I'm Theodore Henry. Thank you for spending the time with me on Jamaica Magazine.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.